Hey there, golfers. Today we are looking at Sage Valley Golf Club, located in Graniteville, South Carolina. Said to be about 15 miles outside of Augusta and built by a guy who applied for membership in Augusta, and for whatever reason he did not get in. So in the midst of a rich dude hissy fit, he just went on and built his own. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but the hell do I care? This is not A&E biography, so I didn't do a whole lot of research into that, but let's just assume it's true. It's a nice story. What I can tell you is that this course is absolutely gorgeous. And according to top100courses.com, it is ranked 8th in the state of South Carolina. Very well deserved, and very much a thinking course. You just cannot go and grip and rip on this guy for the most part. There are way too many disasters waiting to happen if you stray too far from the fairway. But I'll tell you, I really did enjoy this course. I loved it. It was really just a joy to play, and I really hope you guys enjoy it too. So we're going to get right going, and let's have some fun. So we're going to go ahead and go from the red tees today at 6,115 yards, though really in retrospect, I probably could have gone from the whites, given that there are plenty of elevated tees on this course. So that really could have offset the 6,700, so maybe someday I'll do that. Rating and slope from the reds are 69.6 and 139, so still a bit of a challenge from the reds, and I would humbly submit every bit as gorgeous. Course conditions, as always in my reviews, we are going to go with slow and soft greens, clear weather. Going to use the dawn setting. It's just beautiful, and everything else we'll go ahead and leave at default. Gimmies we'll leave at 6 foot, and of course I will not be taking mulligans. Looking at prettiest hole, my best hole, and my favorite, the shit show of the day. So without further delays, here we go. All right, starting off with our regularly scheduled shit show. This is 7th hole, par 3, 170 yards. Beautiful hole, elevated tee. You got a stream right there running down the middle. Not a factor though. As a matter of fact, this is should have been a pretty straightforward hole. Greenside bunker there on the left, not an issue. It does slope away pretty dramatically at the front of the pin, but that green is big enough. That should be easy to avoid. So 170 is between a 8 iron or 7 iron for me. I didn't want to come up short and deal with that slope, so I went 7 iron, tried to shorten up on it, and holy shit. Yeah, that bunker I said should not have been an issue. I made it an issue.
You might be a lefty.
So now I got to deal with this deep ass bunker, try to get over that hump without having it roll back into the fairway, and took my stand wedge and went ahead and flubbed the ever living hell out of it and did exactly what I did not want to do. I just made this impossible on myself. So now for par, I just made myself a very difficult chip, and I was not chipping very strong today anyway. As you can see, I'll go ahead and prove that to you now. Just right on the other side of the, yeah. So now I'm in some real trouble here. If I'd really taken the time to line this putt up, you can see here the undulations aren't that bad, but I'm frustrated, and I did not take time to line it up and missed it again. Dumbass. All right, golfers, there you have it. A really, really stupid double bogey on a relatively benign par 3. So I deserved it. So coming off that horrible 7th, they get to the 8th. My pick for the prettiest hole on this course. Just look at this view. Elevated tee. Nice breakup in the environment. Beautifully detailed fairways. You got a stream right there. Fair side bunker, not too much of a factor. You got to cut across the stream again. You got beautiful contours on the fairway going into a very well protected green that slopes on the backside. You can see there, so you kind of want to avoid that the best you can. I'm taking as much fairway as there is here. No matter what, I do not want to go right. There is nothing but problems over there. So I lined up left, tried to stay left, and I did go left. A little more than I wanted to, but not a bad position at all to be in. Going into my second look here. So pretty happy with that drive. And now I'm looking at 250-ish. No way I'm going to get on here in 2. I don't use a 3-wood, so I wanted to go right and take those bunkers out of play near the green. I went right with my 3 hybrid, and it worked out. I was able to use the contours, get back into the fairway, and leave myself a relatively easy chip approach. So that's what I did. I lined it up. I did not want to overrun the pin and get on the backside and be putting downhill, so I took a little conservative shot with my pitching wedge. Came up a little shorter than I wanted to, about 10 feet out, but still, for me, way better than going up that. You could see that slope there on the other side of the pin, getting up there and having to putt downhill. So now you can see here from this vantage point, the contour and the slopes aren't that bad. And I went ahead and lined it up, pretty easy read, and knocked myself out a birdie. So I got myself a little bit of redemption coming off the 7th. So nice little birdie, I'll take it. Absolutely gorgeous hole, very reflective of this entire course, but this one stood out above all the others. So it's time to move on. Here we go. That brings us to what I regarded as my best hole strategically, 15th par 5, 400 and something yards, 443 I think it is. This, by design, this is a very difficult hole. You can see here, very narrow fairway to work with, lots of trees, all kinds of trouble down there on the right. You got bunkers in the happy zone, going into a fairly well protected elevated green that slopes in all directions, just nothing but problems. But I was 5 over. I thought I needed to make up some ground, so I was going to go ahead and do a nice little fade around that dogleg turn in those trees.
This shit's gonna have nuts in it.
So this time it happened to work out. I just avoided a tree, just avoided a bunker, and put myself right smack dab in the middle of the fairway. Coming off that drive, I took a harder look, and I thought I just wasn't going to risk it, because you go right on this hole and you're going to go into a place of no return. So I decided 4-iron, I'm going to go left, and it worked out. I tried to use contours like I did before. Kind of did, not as much as I wanted to, but still ended up in a pretty good spot to get on here in regulation. I just was not feeling my chips today. It just wasn't working, and here you go. Here's proof again, just like on the 7th. And I just went and went and went until I thought I was going to roll off onto the other side, but mercifully it stopped. And now I'm, my putting game wasn't all that fantastic today, so now I'm just assuming I'm going to save par. But you can see here, slopes aren't bad. They're moderately bad, but worked out for me. I read it pretty well and managed to get birdie off this thing.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
So I took a little risk on this hole, and it worked out in my favor this time. As it's been said before, sun shines on a dog's ass some days. All right, folks, there you go. 4 over. Not entirely unhappy with that, given the rating on this course. It was bit of a challenge, and my chipping was not fantastic, and my putting never is. So all in all, I'm not gonna bitch over 4 over on this course. And I just loved it. This was a fantastic course, beautiful design, beautiful graphics. You more seasoned golfers are really going to enjoy some of the strategy you're going to need to employ. If you're a newer golfer, you may get frustrated pretty quick and pretty often, so you not necessarily want to break your cherry on this course, but hey, if you're a mulligan machine, go ahead and give it a shot. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. If you have any comments or messages, by all means, leave them down in the comments section. I love to read them, and I really appreciate all the input. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you really play this course and get out of it what I did. So all that, and I am out of here. Graybeard 5 done for the day. Enjoy your golf.